let's say 15th, 2025. And today we are going to be discussing how I got absolutely battered at the beginning of today, and then I ended on two really, really good conversations to further normalize myself, to further keep the streak going of breaking down how each of my days are going, filming wise here in London, and to hopefully inspire some of you to take massive action like I'm doing here to radically change your dating lives rather than relying on dating apps to do that for you. All right, so firstly, if you're new here, you don't know who I am. My name is Ephraim. I'm 25 years old from San Francisco, California. And 2 years ago, I was a pathetic loser. I was just swiping on apps, trying to line up dates that way. Was not successful in getting many results there. The few girls that did swipe right on me and eventually come out on dates were chubby girls that were kind of cute, sometimes not even kind of cute, just flat out ugly. And no, no disrespect to them, but not the quality of girl that I was after. Especially considering I was working a six-figure remote programming job. The only reason I did that was because the red pillars told me that if I got a six-figure job, I would get girls, at least the girls that I wanted. Wasn't the case. I'd been in the gym for a handful of years, so I looked good. Right, I have lean muscle right now, but I was even more muscular. I'm not too muscular here, but I was more muscular then. Did not matter. Was still swiping on apps. No luck there. I had found this look for myself. Right, I was following this whole looks maxing content. Before it was called looks maxing, we just called it self improvement content. So I found this little haircut, got myself a little nose ring, and found this beard length and a style that I liked. I was thrifting clothes, and I thought I looked pretty good. The girls that did interact with me, they were responding to me well, but wasn't leading to dates, was not leading to happy experiences, happy endings. Instead, I would go to bed every night with my pillow in between my legs, wishing that I could have a girlfriend, but not being able to find one. And the girls that did want to be in relationships with me were not the caliber of girls that I wanted. They were usually a little chubby or a little ugly or just or a little bit of both. Not the kind that I was interested in. And so then, if you fast forward 2.5 years, now, if you've been following my content at all recently, you've seen quite a few videos being posted over the last couple of weeks, and you've probably noticed that I'm talking to very attractive women, at least from the back, because I blur their faces so you can't see them. Privacy. You're welcome. And you'll just have to take my words that they're pretty, but I do try to find girls that will look good on camera from your angle so you can see what they look like from the back, from the side. But either way, the point is that not only is it a higher caliber of women that I'm speaking to nowadays, but I'm actually speaking to them. I'm not swiping on them. That's a big difference, right? So rather than finding them on apps and using the Tinder algorithm to help me in my romance search, what am I doing? I'm taking it into my own hands. I'm being a man. And I'm picking up my balls and walking over to these women in person and sharing with them that I'm interested in them romantically and seeing if they reciprocate it. Now, what I'm describing here, this is actually what I help guys do. So a lot of my clients that I work with are introverted. They don't like loud environments like bars and clubs, so they find it difficult to force themselves out on Fridays and Saturday nights because they don't really want to be drinking tequila shots on a sticky nightclub dance floor, pretending to like the pop music that they're listening to, but really they're just scanning around with their eyes looking for hot girls, and usually not even doing much when they find one. And then props to the guys who do at least walk over, but oftentimes we're introverted, so we don't have the loudest voice. We're definitely not the center of attention, so it can be difficult to then try to have a conversation with these women when there's just loud EDM music blasting around you. And so these are most of my clients. They find themselves in these environments that they don't want to be in, all because they just want to get laid, right? They find themselves spending hours and days at a time swiping on apps, mass DMing girls on Instagram, trying to flirt with their coworkers indirectly, hinting at things, or trying to hit on the girls they used to go to school with, either high school or university, right? They went to high school, university with these girls, and they thought, well, you know what? They're kind of familiar with me. So even though it's been 5 years since I graduated, let me just go ahead and give it a shot. Let me DM Sally from statistics class in hopes that I can reignite something. I mean, she didn't like me back then, but maybe she'll see how big my biceps are, how red pill looks maxed I am now. These are my clients, right? These are guys that are excelling in other areas of their life. Usually they've got their career on track or they're moving towards that. Usually they look pretty decent, right? They've been in the gym for a few years. They've focused on their social skills and they can actually articulate themselves well, but they still cannot get laid. And they're pissed off because when they do swipe on an app and get a match, it's usually the girl that they don't even like that much, but they're like, I gotta fuck something. I'm tired of jerking off into a sock. They're tired of living this in this reality, this scarce mindset kind of a reality. And they would like to just be able to walk over to girls when they see them out in public. All right. This is what I teach men how to do. Okay. So over the last 2.5 years, I've developed a playbook, a system. It's a system. I call it the Quiet Confidence Playbook. The name speaks for itself, right? It's designed for introverts. It's designed to give guys this air of confidence to them without needing to be loud. We're quiet. I'm a soft spoken guy. But if you go and watch my infields, they're loud as hell, right? Not volume loud, but they speak for themselves, don't they? Right? You go and watch what I can do on camera for you with a big black device pointed at me, as I call it. Dirty Dan, the cameraman's pointing his big black device at me, right? Also known as a clunky camera. I'm mic'd up. I feel like an FBI government agent. I'm in a new city, new culture, new accents. I don't know where the fuck I am. But I can wake up every day, walk over to these girls that are from here that have posh accents, and I can absolutely delight them. And I can line up as many dates as I want, and I'm giving them fake phone numbers because I don't even want to go on these dates. I just want to inspire guys, so that they actually step forward out of the shadows and they ask to be coached through this because I don't need these dates. I don't want these dates. I can't even go on them, right? It's like I've lined up so many of these dates. If I was actually setting them up and trying to go on them, I wouldn't have time to. And remember when I started this live stream, I said just 2 years ago, I was a guy that was going 10 months at a time without going on dates, without getting laid. I was swiping on all of these apps and occasionally hooking up with fat chicks. And now, 2.5 years later, I'm telling you on camera, same guy, same haircut, same nose ring. And I'm the same person telling you that nowadays I have so many dates that I don't even have time to go on them. In fact, I'm just going on none of them. I'm just focusing my time and my efforts towards creating content for guys that find themselves in the same position that I used to find myself. And they're frustrated because they keep watching the same porn videos, they keep going to the same nightclubs and getting drunk and trying their best to hit on girls and it goes nowhere. Yeah, they're oftentimes they have their little friendships within their coworker groups and they're slowly hinting at Maria, the barista that they work with, that they want to take her out, but she's giving them the runaround and she's flirting with them and then also flirting with the other guy coworkers and they're like, oh, eventually I'll get Maria. And they're doing all of this beat around the bush bullshit trying to get laid. That's all we're after here, right? That's why guys actually reach out to me. Like if we break it all down and we distill it, yeah, modern day society loves to add padding and they love to make things sound all innocent and shit, right? They go, oh, we're just looking for love. Oh yeah, find your love on Hinge. Yeah, you can find your future wife on Hinge. Yeah, okay. But at the core of this problem, it's guys that are high achievers that on paper you read through their resume and you go, this guy should be crushing it. Yeah, this guy's been in the gym for 3 years. This guy has a very high paying, high level job. He's an engineer, he's a scientist, he's an attorney, right? He's on his way to become a doctor. He's a analyst, he's an investment banker, right? These are my clients, right? On paper, they should be crushing it. Red pill manosphere rabbit hole told them that if they got that job, they'd crush it. And then they also told them that if they started looks maxing and got in the gym, they'd crush it. And then those same guys, they come to me, they reach out to me, pause, they come to me, pause that. They reach out to me and they go, Ephraim, I've done all of this shit. Why am I not able to get the girls? And I go, it's because you're focusing on the wrong shit. Yeah, you're focusing on maximizing extremities and your outward appearance and how you think the world will respond to you better. You're maximizing that. I don't know about you, but the clients, right? The clients that I work with, they tend to maximize the external areas of their life, and they hope that by essentially waving their dick around, right? It's like a dick waving contest. They think that if they have the flashy Richard Mille watch, if they're driving the S series, what is it, S3 series BMW, if they've got the flashy, what is it called, diploma, college degree on their wall, the wall of their office, and they have the fancy like CFO title or investment banker title, they think that by maxing all of these badges, the girls are just going to start sprinting towards them. They think the girls are going to see the watch and the car and the the resume and the fact that they're a high-ranking corporate employee, and they're going to go, oh my God, Jeremy, you have all these accolades. Can I please blow you? But it doesn't work like that, does it? You know firsthand, and so do I, it doesn't work like that, which is the reason why Ephraim, a guy that doesn't have a job right now. Yeah, I left behind my programming career. I left behind my software tech sales career, and I flew halfway around the country, or excuse me, the world, to a city I've never been to. I've got no money in the bank. I'm not gym maxed. Everybody watching the stream probably weighs more and has more muscle than me, right? I'm an average looking fuck, right? Yesterday, a guy commented saying I have the gayest haircut in the world, right? So clearly, I'm not immune to ridicule. People are still trying to bully me. Yet, if you go and watch my videos, I am essentially untouchable when it comes to walking over to girls and lining up dates. Aside from the guy who coached me, I've yet to see anyone else on the internet who can do this more proficiently, genuinely. Please link me a video of somebody who can walk over with the boldness that myself and my friends and my coach can do. Because I've yet to find anybody. Usually it's a bunch of guys that are jacked and red pilled and they're walking over to girls that are working at mall kiosks that cannot even escape what they're doing because they're literally on the clock and they don't want to get fired. And they're forcing these girls into conversations, and then they're like prying an Instagram out of them and going, yeah, please, can I have your Instagram? I'll take you out, please. And then you go and you watch my content and it's night and day, right? Same guy, not looks maxed, not gym maxed, certainly not money maxed. Why is it the case? Like I mentioned earlier, we're focusing on the wrong areas, all right? So this is what I teach guys how to do. I teach guys, go watch the infields and you'll see what I can do. That's what I teach guys how to do, all right? Rather than relying on apps, stupid methods that don't work, because you know very well that they don't work, just like I know. I teach them how to walk over to these women. So we meet up in, obviously, firstly, if if you're already familiar with my content and you're ready to just fucking go, click the first link below, book in a free consultation call with me. All right, you can apply to work with me. We'll see if you're a good fit for coaching, and then I'll fucking change your life, right? Assuming you can actually put forth the work and you can actually commit to this, then I can change your life. All right, that's for the clients that already know me. But for the guys that are just tuning in, that are kind of like, what the fuck's going on here? What's this guy talking about? And then they go click over to my infields and they go, holy shit, how can he do this? This is how. All right. So while all of these guys were focusing on college degrees, buying BMWs, trying to outperform their coworkers at work, trying to buy like their Armani suit and the nice watch and the super expensive penthouse in New York City, while they were focusing on that, what was little old Ephraim focusing on? Internal fortitude. I was doing shit that built resilience within myself, i.e., I was cold calling CFOs and getting hung up on all day. I was walking door to door trying to sell products and services throughout my early adulthood. And I was getting doors slammed in my face. All right. And then a couple years after that, I came across this space called cold approach. Those skills that I built in sales transferred really well into cold approach. And for the last 2.5 years, I've been building my internal fortitude through this medium of approach. And I'm walking over to girls in the boldest manner possible with every eyeball on me in a in a what 1/10 of a mile radius. Everybody can hear and see what I'm doing, and they all turn their heads and they all watch what I'm doing. Yet I'm the only motherfucker that's bold enough to do it. And nobody stops me from doing it. And in fact, the girls melt in front of me because of the audacity, right? No accolades. I don't have a college degree, never been to college, yeah? So in theory, I'm a fuck up. On paper, I'm a fuck up, right? No watch on my wrist, right? I don't wear any jewelry except for the cute little nose ring I got on my nose. Once again, yesterday a guy told me I had a gay haircut. So if you agree with him, then that means gay haircut, weird nose ring, no jewelry, no college degree, I don't have my car's back home in San Francisco. It's a 1996 truck that needs a new transmission. That's all I got. No BMW, right? So on paper I'm a fuck up, yet I'm one of the boldest people in this industry that can walk over and chat to girls, get them on dates. And this is what I'm describing to you. You're focusing on the wrong things. You think more accolades get you the girl. In reality, it's more courage. All right. So rather than focusing your attention on extremities, focus internally. Focus on doing more difficult things, especially socially difficult, right? Physically difficult can help to a certain extent, right? It's not gonna hurt if you learn jujitsu. I mean, it might hurt a little bit, but you get it, right? It's only gonna help you to learn to do things that are physically difficult, that build physical resilience, right? Army training, I've never done that shit. But if you want mental, psychological resilience, you need to do things that take you far outside of your comfort zone socially, all right? So like improv class would be a good example. Never done it. All right. Stand-up comedy would be a good example. Never done it. What did Ephraim do then? What I'm mumbling now. I sound like a toddler. What did Ephraim do then to build this internal resilience that I'm talking about? Ephraim walked over to girls, i.e. cold approach. Ephraim learned how to get out of his comfort zone, how to face his fear, confront it head on, walk over to girls that he was attracted to, and declare that he was attracted to them while all of the bystanders were watching him and listening to him. And by doing that over and over and over again, I stopped giving a fuck about outcome. I stopped caring about what people think of me. I broke free of the rat race because I realized, wait, I've got all these dates lined up, but I've not done all the red pill shit that these guys tell me I need to do. I was going on so many dates a year and a half ago when I was unemployed and dirt broke. Most dates I've ever been on in my life, I was unemployed, still had no jewelry, still had thrift shop clothes. I wear the same fucking t-shirt. I got like 7 copies of the same basic black blank t-shirt. Look, notice it doesn't say Gucci on it, does it? Right? I dress like, you know, what a lot of people would consider to be a bum. All my clothes are secondhand, yet I've got one of the most rock star dating lives I've seen on the internet. Yeah. And I'm not saying it to gloat, I'm saying it to inspire. All right, I'm not trying to tell you should be lazy and be a fuck up in order to line up the most dates. I'm trying to tell you that you don't need to focus on what you think you need to focus on. Instead, you need to focus on what I focused on. Yeah, self-belief, internal mastery, social skills, being able to walk over to a girl and deliver the value that you've built within yourself, right? Because I can say all these self-deprecating statements about how on paper I'm a fuck up, but in reality, I actually think I'm the shit. And that gets transferred into these conversations when I'm in front of these girls. That's the reason why guys turn to me for coaching through this area of their life, because I actually think I'm the shit. And I'm not just saying it, I'm backing it up with clear evidence, video evidence, uncut video evidence, right? Go and watch all my uncut infields. Most of the guys in this space, most of the coaches, yeah, they pick and choose their best conversations and then they put those on their channel and they say, look at me, look how good I am. I take the opposite approach. I pick and choose every conversation, uncut, and I go, look how fucking shit today went. Look how bad it was. Yeah, call me shit if you want to, that's okay. And then I have another day that goes amazing and I go, oh, look how great today went. And then I put that uncut as well, just to demonstrate to you that just like you, I'm not immune to blowouts. I'm not immune to a string of rejections. I'm not immune to bad reactions and bad circumstances, and neither will you be. I try to normalize this skill set as much as possible to give guys a very realistic picture of what building this skill set is going to look like. It doesn't need to be perfect. It rarely is perfect, right? I posted the Swedish girl video. I almost decked a little 12-year-old girl trying to get in front of the Swedish girl, and it still went amazing, and we still lined a date up, right? There are plenty examples of conversations that don't go perfect, but the point is, Ephraim goes over anyways. While the guys that wear the fancy watch and they drive the BMW and they focused on their college degree for the past 10 years, they don't walk over. They just sit in their car and they pull up to VIP, you know, the what do you call it, valet parking, and they walk into the club and they got their Armani suit on and they got their Richard Mille watch on. They walk into the club and they sit there and they post up and they go, all right, where are the girls at? Where are the girls at? And no wonder they're struggling. No wonder why these guys end up reaching out to me for coaching. No fucking wonder. It's because they don't know what they're doing in this area of their life, right? Now, if it came to me wanting to learn how to be a successful investment banker, I would have not the first clue what to do. So I'd be reaching out to them. But when it comes to learning how to get over your fear of chatting to girls and lining up dates with women that you actually want to be dating, not women that happen to swipe right on you, probably isn't the girl you want anyways, but the girl that you see when you're walking down the street, right? Let's go through the exercise together. We're walking down the street. There she is. She catches your eye. She looks striking. She's just your type. She has this amazing energy to her. You see her immediately, and most guys, what do? Absolutely nothing. What do? They see the girl, they look, they stare for a few seconds, then they look away, pretend like they didn't see her because their ego hurts anyways, and then they look down, and then they pass her, and then they forget all about her, and then they think about her 2 hours later, and they go, man, if only, right? That girl could have been my wife, if only. Yeah, this is exactly who I used to be as well. But nowadays, what does Ephraim do? Well, let's go through the exercise again, right? We're walking down the street. I see the girl. Whoa, she's striking. And then 3 seconds later, I go, well, let me go talk to her. Maybe she'll like me. La, 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 la. Hi, excuse me. Hey, you look amazing. Oh, you like me too? All right, cool. Let's go on a date. It's as easy as that. Genuinely, it's as easy as that. Yeah, go watch my infield and you'll see what I mean. Now, not to say that every conversation goes like that. Sometimes I walk over, right? Same exercise, see the girl, whoa, she's striking. 3 seconds later, I walk over, excuse me, get the fuck out of here, right? Excuse me, oh, I'm sorry, I'm in a rush. hey, excuse me. Oh, I'm busy right now. I have a boyfriend right now. Oh, okay. And it doesn't go my way. But every now and then it goes my way, i.e., go watch my fucking infield. Uncut. I got the good conversations as well. I've been doing this, I've been uploading every day for the last month to show you just how viable of a skill set this is when it comes to radically changing your dating life and lining up dates for yourself. All right, boys. So, once again, if you are tired of listening to me and watching me line up dates in front of you on YouTube, if you're tired of I don't know what person wants to continue to watch Ephraim line up dates. That sounds like torture. You could go watch NFL highlights. Don't fucking watch my content if you're not going to do anything. Yeah? If you're watching my content, at the very least you should be applying it and at least attempting to go out and set up these dates for yourself. But if you actually want a fast track way to do that, rather than banging your head against the wall, because as easy as I'm making it sound, it's not that easy to do when you're a beginner, all right? Because when I first started out, oh boy, let me tell you, when I was doing my first ever approaches, I was so filled with this anxiety. Yeah, there was physical tightness in my chest. My stomach felt like it was like inverted. I was sweating. My hands were shaking when I was even contemplating walking over to a girl for the first time. This is the physiological reactions that were happening within my body. Same guy, right? When now you pan over to my infields and I look fucking cool, calm, and collected when I'm in front of the hottest girl on the strip, right? I'm in front of a Spanish supermodel and I'm going, yeah, I mean, we can go on a date. You look all right, right? I mean, I'm exaggerating here, but the point is, I don't look nervous at all most of the time, right? Even if I do feel nervous, I don't look nervous. Whereas the first approach that I've ever done, I mean, I was physically shaking walking over to this girl to drop off a compliment. So, what I'm trying to get at here is rather than going through this very delicate process on your own, rather than trying to get over that physiological response that you will have when you first try to do this, instead of just trying to hit this on your own, just say, fuck that, skip the line, and instead of paying with years of your time, right, months to years of your time trying to figure this out just to get to like 3% good at this, how about you just click the link below and apply to work with me so that I can just fast track that whole process for you so that you can just go back to your 9 to 5 job that you're crushing it at. Instead, this time, you're not horny your entire shift. Instead, this time, you can actually focus on the work that you're doing because you've not gone 8 to 10 months without having a date and getting laid. Yeah? What I advocate guys to do is just sort this area of their life out and then move on, right? This is why I separate myself so aggressively from the whole PUA standard dating industry. I don't see myself as a dating coach. I don't see myself as a PUA. I just help guys free themselves from this area of life that is essential, right? Romance, sex, essential. You can't escape it. You have a testosterone system that makes it so that you can't escape it unless you're neutered. Yeah, unless your balls are snipped off. Unfortunately, you can't escape this part of your life. And so what I help guys do is just sort it out. Yeah, I'm not teaching guys to walk the pavement for 3 hours a day in a fucking blazer and try to label themselves as a PUA and use all these weird lines and these funny little routines, the mystery method and shit. Fuck that. I teach guys how to just be themselves and walk over as is, except now you've got an edge of confidence to you. Now you've got the courage to go over, and you'll surprise yourself how many girls will respond very well to you if you've actually got something about you. Right? The big asterisk here is that you've actually got something about you. I don't work with losers. Yeah, when guys book in calls, I mean, oftentimes the guys that end up booking in calls are not losers to begin with because usually the losers don't have the confidence to book a fucking call. But yeah, I don't work with guys that have nothing going for them, right? So if a guy is working a shit job, living in mom's basement, he's got nothing at all going for him in life, he's got no direction, he's usually just smoking weed all the time, that guy usually doesn't even have the courage to book a call. And if he does, the call ends pretty fucking quick, right? I'm able to just tell the guy what it is. In fact, I'm saying this in theory. I've never had somebody like that book a call, thankfully. No, the guys that I work with, they've actually got something about them already. Yeah, they're actually working towards a goal in life. Usually they've already got a business that they run, or they've got, they're self-employed to some extent, or they're just pretty deep into their career. Most of my clients have been older than I am. Yeah, usually they're about ready to stop focusing on this area of their life. And they've neglected this area because they were following the same content that I was. And they were told that if you build it and they will come. Yeah, just follow the red pill dogma, build this sort of this epic lifestyle where you can buy everything and anything. and then all the girls will start running towards you. And then they found out very fucking quickly that that did not happen, did it? So my clients are usually these guys. They've already built success in the other areas of their life. They're just lacking success in the romance area. And the reason they reach out to a guy like Ephraim is because they recognize that I'm not a Mr. PUA. I'm not the smooth talking like, oh yeah, I'm just, all I do is get girls. I'm a dating coach. I teach, nah. This is holistic life transformation. This is going from the guy that is too scared to walk over to the guy that can do it with his fucking eyes closed. And now you no longer have to worry about it. Now you don't have to worry about getting drunk at nightclubs and bars. You don't have to do that ever again if you don't want to, right? Now you don't have to ever download a dating app again if you don't want to. Now you never have to hit on your coworkers again if you don't want to. And I would advocate you don't, right? Because if you ever in your life wake up and you go, you know what, it's Friday today, I'm gonna go to work, but I'd like to go on a date. You know, it's been about 7 days since my last date, and it went well, and she came back, but like I didn't like her that much. I'd rather just go on a different date, right? Or if you're in a phase where you're filtering for your wife, right, where you're going, you know, I've been on a few dates the past few weeks, but honestly, none of them like are the one, right? None of these girls are the one. So let me just go and find a new one, and then maybe she's gonna be the one. And then you can use this skill set as a genuine filter to find the girl of your dreams, to find the girl that you're most compatible with, to find the future mother of your children. And you can do this by seeing her in public, and instead of trying to like hide behind an app and wait until you see her on Tinder, you can see her at the bus stop, right? It's like a fucking romance movie. Yeah, you can see her on your way to the gym and you can go, holy shit, who is that? You can walk your ass over, and what do you know? It might be the start of an amazing love story, okay? This is what I teach guys how to do. Link in the description below if you would like to see if we're a good fit for coaching, because yeah, I change lives. I'm not a fucking dating coach. I don't teach guys how to, you know, when I think dating coach, I think, oh, you go over and tell her about how her eyes remind you of the blue sea, and how, oh, you think that she must be an art history major because she seems so eclectic. And I don't tell them to say stupid shit. I just tell them to walk over, compliment the girl, and have a normal fucking conversation. Yeah, that part is easy. The mechanics, what to say, that part's easy. The difficult part is actually getting them from where they are now to in front of the girl. That part is like a mountain, right? And that is exactly what I help guys with, all right? So I'm essentially holding their hand, right? I got my arm around them, and we're walking through the streets of a mutually agreed upon city, and I'm not pushing them too much, but I am pushing them. I'm pushing them outside of their comfort zone, certainly. And I'm helping them get into these conversations one at a time, and I'm not judging them when they can't do it, and I'm not ridiculing them if it goes bad. In fact, I expect it to go bad at first. It went bad at first for me, and I understand that already. Yeah? And so rather than ridiculing them or judge them, I'm one of the few people on the earth that understands how this works, understands what to expect, and I can watch from afar. I can listen in because I have them mic'd up so I can hear the entire conversation, and I can give them an accurate breakdown of what they did well, so they should keep doing that, what they did poorly, so they should stop doing that, what to change, and I know what to do already. If you don't believe me, just click over to the fucking infields, right? If you're curious about my proficiency and whether or not I actually know what I'm talking about, that is why I'm here in London. That is why I'm filming for 3 hours a day, every day for 30 days. That's why. So I can prove to you just how efficient I am at this skill set, so that then you can make the very easy mental jump. You can connect the mental dots and go, wait a second, if he's this good at walking over, and what he does is, he used to be a programmer and he quit that just to teach this, maybe instead of banging my head against the wall, I should just fucking learn from the source. I should, instead of following along his content and trying to implement it my own, I should just ask him directly, hey, can you just coach me in person so we can get this sorted in 3 days, instead of me trying to figure this out for 3 years? Literally, guys will spend half a decade watching content, trying to apply it, but the problem is he doesn't know what he's doing yet, right? He doesn't know what to look for to even critique. Even if you had, let's say you had your brother filming you so that you can, how do I sound in conversation? The problem is you don't even know what to look for yet, do you? If you did, you would already sound sick as fuck, yeah? If you already knew what to look for as far as how to improve your approach, then your approach would already be as good as mine, and you would not be watching my content. Instead, you'd be going on dates, yeah? So what's clear is that you don't know what to look for, so rather than trying to figure it out on your own, I have a system in place. I've already shared it with loads of guys. Pause, that also sounded fruity. I've already shared it though. Yeah, I've already taught other guys in multiple different countries, different continents even, how to do exactly what I do. Yeah. Not to say that they've gotten quite as good as I have yet, but the good news is you don't need to get as good as I do. Yeah. The reason why I've gotten this far with this skill is because I teach it, right? And so I needed to overkill it. Yeah. You really need, realistically, and I'm being so honest here, you need to get about 5% as good as I am on camera. Yeah. Just without cameras rolling. You need to get about 5% as good as I'm demonstrating to you in these infields to be able to line yourself up with dates, which means you need to be able to get over your fear, walk over to the girl, say excuse me, drop off a compliment, and have very basic conversation. And you do that like 10 times, you're bound to find a date. You think I'm kidding, and I'm not even kidding. All right. But once again, the big asterisk here is that you actually have something about you. Because if you're a guy that is just a basement dweller Minecraft player, that guy can walk over to 1,000 girls, probably won't get any dates. He probably lacks social skills, probably doesn't know how to make eye contact, probably is just a weird individual overall. Yeah. When I'm saying that it should only take you a handful of approaches to find dates, I'm talking to guys that have everything else sorted in life, including a baseline level of social skills. All they're missing is the courage and the accountability and the nice, friendly push from a coach who can hold them accountable, guide them through it step by step, and hold their hand throughout the entire process. That is what I do. All right. That's what I do. That's what I've been doing. That's what I left behind my 6-figure remote software career to do. All right. I left that life behind because I see a bigger impact and a bigger mission here. I see that there are a lot of guys that are living a life similar to what I used to be living. And a lot of times they have more money than I ever have. A lot of times they look way better than I ever have. Yeah. They're far more gym maxed, muscle maxed than I ever was and ever will be. But they're still way behind when it comes to this kind of a dating life, right? Then when you stack up everything else, they're way up here compared to me. But then you just look at dating life and it's flipped, right? And I'm way up here. So far to the point where I'm not even going on the dates. I'm just giving out fake numbers. I'm trying to prove to you boys that you can get to a point with this where you can just turn things down. You can turn women down. Most guys don't even know what that means because they've never been in a position where they could do it. I teach guys how to get so abundant, how to have so many dates lined up that they literally turn dates down. And most guys that are listening to this cannot relate to what I've just said. Yeah, if they're being completely honest with themselves. Yeah, because I know 2.5 years ago, I could not relate to that. I was saying yes to fat, half ugly girls. So that's how far I was from turning hot girls down, is I was saying yes to girls that were fat that happened to swipe right on me on Tinder. And I went, finally, I don't have to jerk off tonight. Finally, fat Susie wants to bang. Pathetic, all right? You don't have to live it. That does not have to be your reality forever. Stop listening to this stupid red pill shit. Go watch the infields. And if you're somebody that has 2 brain cells and can recognize, because I got some guys thinking that it's all fake content and it's just so sad. That guy is so far gone. Yeah. So if you're somebody that can actually see the value in what I'm teaching here, then just book the fucking call, man. Stop wasting your time. I don't get why guys want to waste another decade trying to figure this shit out on their own. Yeah, just sort it out right now. Sort it out in 3 days. We're good. You never have to watch another Pull University infield again. I encourage you to unsubscribe so that you don't have to watch me set up dates because you're so busy going on your own fucking dates that you've set up. All right. So yeah. So that was the intro. Anyways, let's get into the topic today. Fuck me, we got a 32-minute intro. I see people liked that, didn't they? Well, look, I'll keep this short and sweet because I've already been talking for quite a bit. So yeah, today I met up with Dirty Dan, my cameraman in Victoria, the Victoria area of London, and I recorded an uncut infield to start off the day, and I got absolutely battered. All right, so the first 4, 5, 6 approaches I did went nowhere. To be fair, I actually had 2 really good conversations to start off the day, but the first girl, once again, right, she asked. She encouraged me to take her Instagram down, and I said, I don't want your Instagram. Have a nice day, right? So once again, turning it down. And then the other conversation was good, but she was in a rush, so it is what it is. The rest of them, proper blowouts. So the first infield that I recorded uncut, proper blowouts, all right? Then I had a few good conversations along the way to the Parliament building. We got to Covent Garden area. I recorded another uncut, proper blowouts. Yeah, no, that one, no good conversations. I think one lasted maybe 45 seconds. The rest, proper blowouts. All right, so if you're curious what I'm talking about, right? Because you're like, well, you just spent the last 30 minutes telling us how great you are at getting dates, this, and that. You're missing the point, right? If So what I teach guys is that every day and every approach is independent, which means you are going to have days, right? I'm not going to lie to your face, right? All these other fucking coaches out here, they lie to your face and they say, "Watch my highlight reel." And they try to sell you on their highlight reel, and then you get out in the field with them, and then you get blown out a couple times, or even better, you ask them to demonstrate and they get blown out, and you go, "Wait a second." This doesn't look like what I saw on YouTube, does it? So that's why I show my actual real life journey. I show what it looks like every day when you're going out and you're not getting the result that you want every time, right? Because yesterday, the first approach of the day turned into a date. The second approach of the day turned into a date. The fifth approach of the day turned into a date. Today, not like that in the slightest. Today, the first 10, none of them led anywhere, right? And then we did another uncut after that. We got rained out a bit, so we had to find shelter. Then we ended up doing another uncut, and we walked. This was actually at Leicester Square. It went all right, and then the last conversation during that uncut went amazing. All right, we talked for about 10 minutes, set up a date with the girl. Obviously, these girls are for demonstration, so I've since deleted her number. But just to prove to you what happens when you keep taking action and you keep going in, and then the very last conversation of the day went very similarly. It went really really good, and then she ended up saying she was from Australia, but she ended up saying she's leaving in a couple of days. And so I told her I wanted to take her out before she goes. And she said that she's busy, but she has a friend that lives out here, and she was trying to hook me up with her friend, right? She was like, "Yeah, but I have a friend that's also so beautiful, and so I can take your contact details down, and I can have us all get together and this and that." And I said, "Look, I'm sure your friend looks amazing. I'm just not interested. All right, I came up to you. I didn't come up to your friend. So I'm not interested in a blind little date. But look, thank you for being considerate. I'm gonna take that as a no. But enjoy your day." And it was just such a good conversation. Yeah, I'm really learning I mean, I already knew what it meant to be abundant, but now just giving out fake numbers and spending a whole month just focusing on producing good content for you boys, I'm really really learning what that phrase means. So yeah, just some things to remember. Every approach is independent. All right. So this is what I work closely with my private clients on, is they'll have a string of bad interactions, kind of like how I started out today, and they'll get down on themselves. And this is when I spring into action, right? So guys think that when they come out for a private coaching experience, all they're learning to do is walk over and flirt with girls and find success. A big portion of the skill set is learning how to deal with unsuccessful outcomes. All right, learning how to pick yourself up off the pavement. So when my clients and I first start working together, oftentimes I'm the one that's picking them up off the pavement, right? Oftentimes they're so put down about the fact that they didn't get the result that they want. They're in their head. They feel bad about themselves. They don't want to go in for the next approach. So this is when I come in. This is what you pay me for, right? I put my arm around the guy. I say it's okay, all right? Some approaches go like that. Every approach is independent. The next one you do could go amazing. You don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. The point is that you keep going in, all right? The point is that you choose action. Learn to attach importance to the action that you're taking versus to the outcome that you're getting. All right, because if you attach importance and value to whether or not you take action, the good news is that is fully within your control. The result is essentially not within your control at all, right? The only way it's within your control is, whether or not your mechanics are decent, which is obviously the first thing that I teach you when you come out with me, is actually how to stop the girl, what to say to the girl to get her to stop and engage with you. I teach you that within the first 10 minutes of being with me. Right, within the first 10 minutes of our coaching experience, I teach you how to stop the girl and what to say in the beginning to get her to engage with you. That takes literally no time, right? The actual delicate part of this coaching, which guys, I don't think they understand fully, is not what to say to the girl. That part's easy. In fact, I have so many infields on my channel. You can go and see exactly how to talk, what to say, right? That part's actually very easy to sort. The hard part is, what do you do when you walk over and she walks past you? Or you walk over and she says, "Sorry, I'm in a rush." Or you walk over, she looks at you, then she just looks back and continues walking and doesn't say anything, right? What I'm describing to you right now, if you're imagining it in your head, you're probably cringing right now watching my stream going, "Oh, yeah, that would be so rough. Like, I can't imagine that happening. What would I do?" Oh, now imagine actually being there, having it happen, right? This is what I help guys over. Because if you go and watch my infields, when what I'm just describing to you, when that happens to me on camera, I look back at the camera and I say, "Dirty Dan, give me a zoom, baby. Look at me. Look at this face of defeat right now. Oh, man, it's okay. We keep going in. We move. Life goes on. Doesn't matter." This is the skill, right? This is a big portion of the skill, is being able to just let these unideal, undesirable outcomes bounce the fuck off of you. Yeah, you don't care about them. It's a passing thought. Doesn't matter, does it? Yeah, because life goes on. The sun still rises the next day. And the best part is the very next approach that you do can go phenomenal. Yeah, the very next approach that you do might be the girl that ends up in your bed next Friday when you take her out on a date. And I'm not even kidding. It's happened so many times to me, to my students, to my friends that also approach so many times. Yeah, you get blown out 3, 4, 5 times in a row. You walk over yet again. The girl loves you. You take her on a date the next day, the next week. It goes amazing. And that's your next girlfriend. Yeah, holy shit. Thank God you didn't give up, right? That's what I teach guys how to do, how to not give up, how to not lose enthusiasm when you're faced with these inevitable reactions. This is the stuff that other guys try to hide, right? You click over to other channels and you don't see any rejection reels. You don't see any uncut demonstrations where they're getting battered back to back to back. Then you watch some of my videos and you see me get battered. And then you see the trolls in the comments saying, you suck, Ephraim, you're trash, you should stop making content, this is cringe, right? And then the very next video you see a different day that went my way, and the first approach and the second approach and the third approach all went good, and those same trolls from the last video are nowhere to be found on this video, whatever. But the point is, I'm being so honest and transparent about what this actually looks like, how to actually build this skill set effectively, and how to use it as a catalyst to transform your entire life, which is what we actually haven't even touched on this live stream yet. Right now, we're just talking about this skill set in the context of dating. But recognize that the skill set of approach, right, cold approach, is actually made up of a lot of slices of different micro skills. Yeah, resilience, persistence, facing adversity and being able to overcoming adversity is a better way to phrase that, right? How to deliver yourself in a very confident, courageous way. Courage, that's another one, right? Sociability or just social skills in general. And quite a few more, but it's built up in like a lot of smaller skills. Now, what we can do is we can extract the skills from cold approach. So what I mean is when you learn how to approach, you're building these skills by default. But what's great is you can take those skills out of approach when you're not using it for cold approach, and you can use it in other areas of your life, right? Assertiveness is another one you learn. You can take your assertiveness into other arenas. You can take your confidence, your courage, your social skills, your ability to handle adversity and overcome it. Yeah, persistence, resilience. You can take all these skills and apply it to your career or the business that you run. Yeah, you can apply it to the relationships you have with your friends. Leadership. Leadership is a big one you learn through cold approach. Well, guess what? Now, during your nights out with your mates who have no fucking idea what approach is, who had no idea that you came and did a private coaching experience with Ephraim, they've never heard of Poole University. All of a sudden, 3 days later, you rock back up to your hometown. Yeah, you go out with all your friends, and now all of a sudden you're fucking leading the night. Now all of a sudden you're walking over to all the girls that are at the bar, right? Cold approach. It's just in this case, it's in a different environment. Yeah, now you're bringing over double and triple dates to all your friends, and they're like, who the fuck is this? Larry, like last week, you were the most introverted one in the group. Then you came and worked with me, right? They don't know that part. And now all of a sudden, Larry, this week, you're the one that's walking over to the group of 4 girls and saying, hey, my friends and I over there, we think you're all pretty fucking hot. Come hang out with us. Yeah, we'll buy you drinks. Come hang out with us. Now all of a sudden, you got a fucking quadruple date. Your friends are going, who is this, right? These are skills that you can take out of approach and you can apply them to so many other areas of your life. And this is why I left behind a very high-paying remote job to do this, all right? Because I could have... Here's the thing, man. You see my infields, right? This is just what I'm doing on camera. Imagine all of the approaches that have gone even better than this that were not recorded because they actually were girls that I went on dates with and stuff, right? The stuff that you're getting to see is all demonstration for you on camera. These are girls that I'm never reaching out to, and I'm giving them fake numbers if I give them my number. I'm never going on dates with any of these girls, all right? But here's the thing, like think about this. If this area of your life is sorted, you no longer have to focus on dating anymore, right? You don't have to focus on all your attention that needs to be spent elsewhere. You don't have to put it towards dating because you're so horny, because you're not gonna be horny anymore. If you wanna date, you can line it up. This is what I teach guys how to do. Okay, boys, so yeah, that's what I had to discuss with you today. So yeah, pretty fun, successful day. To be fair, every day that I'm out here, I see as a success because I'm taking action every fucking day. No days off. Literally, weekends don't exist for me. Yeah, not anymore, at least not when I'm trying to change the fucking world and bring guys up here with me. And yeah, this is the mission, boys. This is what I've decided to do with my life. I could have I could have built this skill to the degree I built it and just not made a YouTube channel. And I could have just still been a programmer working remotely, traveling the world and going on all these dates in all these different countries if I wanted to. And I could have kept it to myself, couldn't I? But instead, I decided, you know what, impact over self pleasure, impact over hedonism. I'm going to share the wealth. I can't possibly go on all these dates anyways. Yeah, so many girls want to go on dates and I just don't have the time, right? That's why I'm giving out fake numbers right now. I just don't have the time. I would rather spend my time rather than on a date, rather than getting my Willy Wonka sucked. I'd rather spend my time helping other guys achieve that same reality. Yeah, I've had my fun, I've had my dates, and I can have my fun whenever I fucking want to. So let's teach you how to do the same. Let's get you to a position where you can do the same, where you don't have to rely on these stupid fucking apps, these stupid algorithms that have our brains and our dating lives hijacked. They've hijacked it. Yeah, these stupid methods. Guys are mass DMing girls on Instagram just like I used to do. Yeah, they're commenting on they're putting comments on photos of models and shit, hoping that they'll see their photo. Stupid shit, right? Guys are forcing themselves, introverted guys like myself, forcing themselves to go out to nightclubs and bars, environments that they do not even want to be in, surrounded by people they do not even want to be around and touch, and they feel fucking claustrophobic and they want to go home and watch Netflix or play PS3. But they're only out because they feel the need to get laid and they're like, fuck, I've not banged a girl in a while. Let me just go out to this nightclub, get drunk with these friends. I don't even like these guys, but they're the only guys that go out and drink with me, so I'll fucking hang out with them if I want to. Guess what? You don't need to do any of that shit. When I learned this skill set, I literally uprooted my entire friend group and threw it in the trash. I was like, the only reason I was hanging out with these guys, the same reason that they were hanging out with me, is we were just crutches to go out with each other so that hopefully one of us can get laid. And it never even fucking happened. So once I learned this skill set, I remember my roommate specifically back in 2023. I learned this skill in 2023. I flew back from Warsaw to San Francisco, and all of a sudden there was girls coming around the apartment all the fucking time. And my roommate starts going, dude, what's going on, Ephraim? Like, what happened in Warsaw? What the fuck what's going on, dude? Another one? Another one? And he kept asking me now to go out. Let's go out to a bar. You want to go hang out? This and that. What do you know? Yeah, you build a skill set like this, you no longer have to rely on your friends to try and help you get laid, and instead they try to get you out to venues because they know what you can do. But the good part is you don't need friends when you have this skill set. Yeah, you can have friends if you want them, right? My friends are all international now. We meet up in different countries. But you're going to outgrow your current friend group, I guarantee it, because what's likely is that you're all using each other as an excuse to go out on Friday and Saturday nights to get drunk. So hopefully one of you can get lucky. And then all of a sudden you don't have to use that method anymore. You can just walk over to girls whenever and wherever. And they're going to be begging you, please, Ephraim, come out. It's Friday, dude, come out. Let's go. You can help us get laid, right? They're not saying that, but that's what they're saying. You can help us. You can walk over to the group of girls and you can bring them over and maybe we could all get laid. Yeah, you don't need them anymore. Yeah, so you're just relying on yourself and your courage, which is why I fucking encourage guys to build this skill set, man. You've built success in other areas, right? You got that polished college degree, don't you? Yeah, you got that nice flashy car that you're driving around, don't you? Yeah, that Mercedes Benz or that BMW, don't you? Yeah, you got the nice clothes on. You got the designer brand clothes on, don't you? But then when you look around in your apartment or your house, wherever you live, it's empty, isn't it? Yeah, you're still on dating apps, aren't you? You're still going to nightclubs trying to get laid, aren't you? Yeah. Why hasn't the success in the other areas translated to success in dating? Well, this entire fucking live stream is why. Yeah, it's because you've been focusing on the wrong areas. Not bad areas, great areas. You've been focusing on great areas. But if the areas you've been focusing on, you were focusing on them because you thought it would get you laid, then you've been focusing on the wrong areas. Yeah. And I've been focusing on the teach you how to do the same. All right, boys. So yeah, click the link in the description below if you'd like me to book in a free application call. We'll see if you're a good fit for the program. Otherwise, for those of you who want to take the long route, good luck. Keep binge watching my content, and I wish you the best of luck. But for the guys that want to skip swiping on apps, they're tired of wasting their time in their life. And they're tired of university YouTube channel, because I don't know why the fuck you'd want to keep watching this if you're not going to do anything about it. Then click the fucking link. All right, boys. But yeah, to the rest of you, have fun with the free content. Good